Okay, good evening, everyone. Yes, go ahead, fire it up. By the time I get done blabbing, it'll be 7 p.m. All right, thank you everybody for coming out on this winter evening. Surprise, surprise. I think last year we didn't get snow until what, February? Okay. I'd like to call this meeting of the Plymouth Town Council Tuesday, December 2nd, 7 p.m. to order. Community room from the Town Hall. The fire exit notifications need to exit the room. There are 2 exits, one to the left, which goes immediately outside, one to the right, which will exit you through the police department and out those doors. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, for which it stands one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, Mayor, I'd like to make a motion, please.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Before I do that, I just want to explain. I noticed on last month's Town Council agenda and tonight's that the invocation was missing. If anybody doesn't know what that is or means, it's the mayor saying, God bless the town of Plymouth and God bless the United States of America. And with that said, I would like to make that motion to add the invocation to tonight's agenda and to all Town Council meeting agendas going forward.
I'll second that motion.
Motion by Mr. Tisha, second by Mr. Mr. Zagorski. Sorry, Mr. Zagorski. All right, so that would move that to item 4, and then subsequently we would just move the other agenda items up accordingly in order. Is there any discussion? Motion made, second. Any discussion on that? I'll just do a voice vote. All those in favor of adding item number 4, invocation to future town council meetings, say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? No opposition. The motion carries. Thank you. We will take care of that adjustment. And as a result, I will say, and especially in the spirit of the Christmas season, God bless the town of Plymouth and God bless America. Item now is number 5, is the mayor's report. My apologies to all the council members for not including the mayor's report in your packet. I will do a better job going forward. It was a little bit fluid and some changes that occurred over the last several days that I wanted to make sure that I included. I'll try not to be quite as long as I was last month, but we'll see how it goes. First of all, I want to acknowledge the changes to the mayor's administrative assistant position. I want to thank Trish Hale, who decided to retire from the town of Plymouth after many years of dedicated service, not only to the mayor's office, but previously with the Board of Education. We had a nice little send-off for Trish, which included some very, very sugary cake and some other goodies. It was very nice. Trish has agreed to stay on as the town council recording secretary for as long as it's necessary, and I'm very grateful to Trish for that. She did have a conflict this evening, which she informed me about, and Linda Schnars has graciously stepped in to fill that void. Going forward, the support of the mayor's office will now be 2 part-time positions utilizing the budget item that was already created for the single position. One of the positions will be a part-time executive assistant who will provide direct support to the mayor, including but not limited to investigation and follow-up of residents' concerns, supporting our department heads and professional staff in their activities as may be needed, and assisting with and coordinating responses to inquiries to the mayor's office from state or private agencies as needed. Again, that is not a comprehensive list. We are utilizing a model that was used by a former mayor who had a more active executive assistant. And from the short time that I've been in the mayor's office, it's definitely something that's going to be needed. The second part-time position will be for an executive secretary to the mayor, providing administrative assistance such as phones, correspondence, and other office tasks. We are currently in the process of onboarding employees to fill those roles. Also, the process is underway to fill vacancies for the Public Works Director and the Zoning Enforcement Officer. I will be meeting with our Human Resource representative to start that process. I spoke with the Chairman of the Public Works Commission, and we'll be meeting to discuss that commission's role in the process of filling these vacancies. We hope to appoint an interim Public Works Director soon, and we will work with the Public Works Commission and our Human Resources to do the accurate and required job posting that's required by various contracts. So there'll be more to come, and I hope more information that I can provide to you folks as soon as those vacancies are filled, at least on an interim basis. The Public Works Director is a critical role. It's even more important right now as we have such major projects in flight. The downtown in coordination with the DOT is obviously the largest one, and certainly needs coordination. We will do our best, and I'm open to any council recommendations. And going forward, if you have recommendations on those roles and responsibilities, I welcome your input. Also, I had the pleasure of meeting with our State Controller, Sean Scallion, and his staff member, Josh Barnes. We spent time discussing the state options for the retirement plan and health insurance programs, as well as a tour of our Route 6 corridor from Pequabic to Plymouth Center. We spent a period of time in the downtown area discussing our revitalization project and the status of the funding that we've been awarded. Currently, there are reimbursements due to the town of Plymouth for expenditures that we've already made. And although we've been awarded a grant for $1.7 million, roughly, we are still and that grant from the Community Investment Fund, we still do not have a firm commitment on when we will receive those funds. So I've been in communication with Mr. Scallion's office, and he assured me that his office would provide assistance into finding out where we are in that process and the reimbursement of the monies we've already spent and the other award that we're waiting on. I've also been in touch with Chairman Hamsey of the Downtown Commission to discuss the status of the grants and ensure that there's no other outstanding items that we need to provide in order to secure this funding. Just a couple more meetings to report. I attended the Naugatuck Valley Council of Governments the Friday before the Thanksgiving holiday, or I guess it was 2 weeks now. Very interesting meeting, 2.5+ hours long. There was a great deal of information on their agenda. Some of the topics that were included were the regional public transportation projects that are in flight, dealing with the railroad. Many items that weren't of particular interest to Plymouth, but important to know about as well. There was discussion about the brownfields, zoning regulations and modifications, regional and local planning, as well as the recently passed public housing legislation. Right now, the Valley COG, as it's known, is reviewing the details of the House bill that was passed dealing with the public housing legislation, and they're going to be providing output to all of us and guidance on how we need to move forward. Of particular interest to us regarding changes in the housing bill was The state no longer has the requirement that we have a affordable housing plan on a town-by-town basis. You may recall that we recently contracted the COG to review and update our affordable housing plan. So we'll be following up with, they affectionately call her SN. I know that's her nickname, but anyway, she's our representative. She was the young lady who came and did the presentation, you may recall. We'll be scheduling a meeting to discuss redoing the contract because that's going to impact our expenditure for that contract, and it will only be focused on the 10-year plan of conservation and development. That doesn't mean that our work is done. I expect there'll be other mandates coming to our communities with respect to affordable housing based on the review of that bill. Almost done. There's been a great deal of conversation about the Torrey Crossing project, and I met with Rich Donovan, who's from the Valley COG, who's the Director of Transportation and Planning. And I'm going to be reaching out probably to members of this council to get even some more background on this. You probably know more than me, but this is just a quick update. From my understanding, although most of the design work has been completed, the project is still in what is called a pre-application phase from a funding perspective. I'm confident the bulk of the funding will, in fact, come through the LOSUP, the Local Transportation Capital Improvement Grants Program. Mr. Donovan sent me a full packet, which I won't bore you with, but if anybody would like a copy of the full packet that defines the entire process that we need to follow in order to secure those funds, I'd be happy to share it with you. This project will improve the intersection sightlines, add sidewalks, improve pedestrian amenities, and replace damaged pavement, drainage, and so on and so forth. The official next step, the town will need to put in the pre-application to NVCOG, and then that will go to review and submission to the DOT. The Connecticut DOT will then, upon completion of their review, send a commitment letter to fund this project for the town, and at what rates. I'm of the understanding that those rates are variable. Could be 100%, it could be, I think, 80. Joe, you might be more familiar with the parameters. But it is our intent to lobby for as much as humanly possible to be paid through LOSUP. We're going to do our best to expedite this project for anyone out there who's concerned with Torrey Crossing, and there's been a lot of information being tossed about the status of that. I feel a lot more confident now having this information in hand. It is on their list. They're fully aware of the project. But I will tell you, at this time, our best case scenario would be to begin the road work itself in late summer of 2026. It could be earlier, but for those residents that have been eagerly awaiting that project, I want to be as clear as I can. We're shooting for getting the shovels in the ground in the summer of 2026. I don't think it's realistic to be doing anything before that. So that's the update. I'm also working on getting some other updates on various other projects in flight. I've got a meeting coming up, and this just came in today, so it's not on my narrative, with our WMC, looking for guidance here, right? WNC, our engineer, who is going to help us with the packages for the $6 million bond, which includes, I know, at least the two main bridges, Todd Road and the South Main Street Bridge. So we're still getting acclimated, but those folks are coming in next week, Wednesday or Thursday. The engineering firm that we've contracted, we've used them before, quite reputable, and they'll be coming in, and I hope to have more updates on all the projects as we move forward. Currently, just so folks know, point of clarity, I will be filling in with the roles and responsibilities of the Public Works Director. I want to thank other people who have reached out and offered me guidance in that. And for sure, that's we're going to expedite getting that position filled because it's absolutely required. So that's the update on the mayor's report. So thank you for your indulgence on that. Okay, at the very bottom of your packet this evening, you will find the suggested liaison reports. I know I tried my best, but we've already identified a couple of conflicts. So, that being said, I'd like you folks to digest this. I don't think it's any expectation that all of us can make every single liaison meeting. There's 5 of us, and at last count, there's 24 commissions in this community, only of which I think, 3/5 are listed here. But these are the big ones. So I ask you to take a look at it. You guys can work with each other if you'd like. Again, this is the first pass. This will get us going. I want to be able to at least share this list with the commission chair people so we can kind of just get the ball rolling and get the communications going. I think I kept everybody on mostly everything they had previous council members. I think I was able to hold your positions except for one. I believe Mr. Green, I made a modification with you on police commission. I don't recall specifically, but please indulge me with this. Take a look at it. I think the critical thing for our representation, make the meetings that you can. It's really important at a minimum. Meet the chair people, meet the members of the commission. Let's try to open up the communication as best we can. That would be my request to you. And we'll take a look at this and we'll work together if you're okay with that, if we need to make any adjustments going forward. I also left the backup section blank. If you've got some things that you really feel strong about that you want to do that, please reach out to me individually and we'll straighten it out. But there's no action required. We'll just move forward with this, and I ask your support on these decisions. Okay, I'm going to move to item which is now number 7, which is public comment on agenda items. There's not much action items on the agenda tonight. I expect there'll be a lot on the January meeting, but if anyone would like a comment on an agenda item, please step forward, identify yourself, and we'll take your comments. Thank you. And hopefully that mic is working over there. I did not test that one.
Testing.
Thank you.
Melanie Church, 328 Main Street. One thing I want to mention that you have on the agenda is to set the meeting schedule. And my concern is for the last 10 years, when it came to July 4th, the meeting after July 4th was always canceled. If you go back and you look through all the records. And I think that's one that you need to look at closely because, you know, that's evidently a week that everybody goes on vacation. And that's just a suggestion, but I know for 10 years you've never made it that July one has always had to be changed. And also, I wanted to bring up, you mentioned Todd Road. And the thing that I'm concerned with is that road has sat there for so many years. There are no fire hydrants on that road. There's 0. So for a fire truck to go in, the pumper, or whatever you call it, if I'm incorrect, you can correct me. But when that comes in, they would have to back it out and fill it up and then come back again, which is serious and dangerous for the 6 houses that are on there. So please, I know the plans are only to fix the culvert, but the rest of it, nothing. And you need to do, because if you go and you go near there and take a look, it's disintegrating. And that's going to need some work, some major work. Maybe we can get it through some grant or something, but I'm imploring and I'm begging for those people, you know, let's turn around and try to get that recognized and done, you know. I mean, it's been years. I'd say it's been 5 or 6 years since it's been used. It's been blocked off that long. So I think that should be a major priority. Thank you.
Thank you. Other comments on agenda items?
Virginia Canane, 18 Adams Drive. I've written this before tonight, so now this is technically an agenda item. I want to express my disappointment that in Mayor Sikorsky's very first town council meeting, he chose to remove the invocation from the agenda, making that one of his immediate priorities speaks volumes. Now that it is an agenda item, I want to thank Mr. Tisha for motioning to add that to the agenda.
Thank you. Any other public comment on agenda items? Seeing none, we have now item 8, which is accepting the minutes from the November 17th, 2025 meeting. Is there a motion to accept the minutes?
I'll make a motion. Second.
Okay, it looks like Mr. Tisha was first, and the second came from Mr. Zagorski. Any discussion on the meeting minutes from November 17th? Corrections, comments? No? Okay. All those in favor of accepting the minutes, please say aye.
Aye.
Any objections? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Thank you. Okay, we had handed out the council rules and procedures at a previous meeting, I believe. I don't think we included another copy in your packet. So unless there's any type of adjustments to the, excuse me, council rules and procedures that was previously handed out, if there's, I would entertain a motion to approve council rules and procedures. And I will also note that, of course, at any time you can bring up and modify those rules and procedures. Do we have a motion?
Second.
Sounds like a second over there. And motion, Mr. Green, second by Mr. Zagorski. Adoption of council rules and procedures. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Thank you very much. A lot of housekeeping today. Thank you, everybody. Item now, which is 10, which is to discuss the town council meeting amendments to dates and times. It was brought to our attention that we approved the whole list of meetings at our first council meeting. We came to note that, I guess historically, the August meeting is sometimes canceled or removed. The public comment was addressed in the July meeting, and I'm not aware of a July meeting conflict, but I would just advise council that the difficulty with modifying our meeting schedule is, in flight, if you will, is that if we modify a previously posted meeting, then now it becomes a special meeting. And that kind of changes the rules a little bit, right, per Robert's rules. My recommendation would be to just take the public comment under advisement. We'll take a look at the dates, and if folks want to put that on our agenda, adjusting the July meeting for next time through, we can certainly put that, and if you guys request that, I can put that in the agenda for next meeting. And then, but the August regular meeting, I don't know, historically, has that been canceled because of vacations? I guess I would defer to the folks that were on council, give me some history about the August meeting. It was brought up as a concern, so that's why we added to the agenda tonight. Was the August meeting generally canceled? Or?
August was usually happened, yeah.
Go
I
ahead.
think August usually happens in July, that was kind of the issue.
July.
It was, of course, a July holiday.
Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. I would entertain a motion to table this scheduling discussion and give me an opportunity to take a look at it, reach out to you individually, maybe we come up with a recommendation on how we want to modify the calendar for next year. If someone would indulge me in that, we'll motion to table, we'll bring it up next meeting. Is there a motion to table this item? Sue Boyard, motion made to table. Second, Mr. Green. Any discussion? I appreciate that very much. Thank you. All those in favor of moving this to the next meeting, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you very, very much. Okay, like I said, to this meeting this evening, a lot of housekeeping, and I appreciate that from everybody. Item which is now item 11 is public comment on non-agenda items. Please, folks, anybody from the general public that would like to address the council on any issue, please come forward. Thank you.
Virginia Canane again, 18 Adams Drive. I also think it's discouraging that an administration which campaigns so heavily on transparency and communication has provided so little of either, leaving residents to search for basic information on their own. It took more than a week for my FOIA request to even be acknowledged, something that according to state FOIA guidelines and advisory opinions is effectively considered a denial of information. For an administration that emphasized openness, failing to acknowledge a FOIA request, I'm not talking about giving me the info, just an acknowledgement for over a week is concerning at best. Along those same lines, it's troubling that I learned through my own searching and not through any communication from the mayor's office that both the director of public works and the executive assistant were let go. I'm not sure retirement was the right reference in the mayor's report. Also troubling, it took until people questioned on social media for info to not come until town council. Based on conversations I've had with people directly involved, as well as information I've gathered, I'm concerned that the DPW decision may be tied to friendships and the good old boys network that this town does not need. Additionally, we still have no clarity on the financial impact that this decision will have. The lack of transparency surrounding these actions stands in stark contrast to the promises made during the campaign. While I do appreciate that meetings are now being live streamed, I'm concerned about the costs associated with the new setup. The most recent live stream only had a handful of viewers live, and more than a week later, the recording only had 27 views, several of which were likely mine. Bringing in 2 representatives from the tech company for such limited viewership does not seem cost effective. A simple iPad or iPhone on a tripod would accomplish this exact same purpose for a fraction of the cost. Finally, I have had concerns that the fire marshal's vehicle has cost significantly more than what was previously approved. I urge the council to question this, to look into this, and provide clarification to the public. Thank you.
Any other non-agenda items that folks would like to comment on?
Melanie Church, 328 Main Street. I would like to say, when you step into a new position, any of us, we're not ready for everything. And there's been changes, I think we all know that. I think that's been open. But you can only give out so much information by law. You cannot give out the real detailed reason any person is let go. The only thing is anybody that calls, the only thing you're allowed to say, they work from here, from this date to this date. You're not allowed to give the reasons why. So that part there, I disagree. And we gotta be careful because we don't need more lawsuits. I was told by a company that tows vehicles. One of our police cruisers was towed. And when he took it, he checked it, it had no oil. I understand there are 8 vehicles sitting out there that aren't working. And if you go back into the minutes and look at the minutes for the budgets, they were always a replacement. I'm asking everyone up there to please look up the word replacement. To me, replacement means that is retired, it goes away, and a new one comes in. And if you go back to when Ralph Zovich was here, he had told the chief we only needed 9. And she agreed. And since he left, every year we're adding more and more vehicles. And I'm encouraging you, please look at the definitions of these words. It's like the Board of Finance recommends. There was a legal opinion done by Rich Cavello, and the bond counsel turned around and said, recommend only means that you recommend. You don't have the power to change. The ones that have the power are you, the council. Thank you.
Any additional public comments on non-agenda items?
Good evening, Mayor and council members. I'm intrigued about the Mayor's Advisory Committee. You brought it up at the last meeting and it sparked an interest. Currently, we have boards and commissions that cover every town-run related topic and reports to you and the council members. What will the new committee's purpose be? What will be their role during your administration? Thank you.
Can you state your name?
Oh, sorry. Nicholas Gentile, 227 Montauk Road.
Thank you. Any additional comments on non-agenda items? I will just make a generic reply to the folks that spoke tonight. Thank you for bringing your concerns to the town council. It is the intent of this administration to provide a response to any question that's raised at this meeting. I don't have answers specifically for your concerns this evening, but I assure you that we will capture your concerns and we will respond accordingly. I do have to tell you this on a generic level. Personnel issues are personnel issues. They're protected in a variety of ways. It is my belief that this administration has acted in accordance with the law of the state of Connecticut and in the best consideration of the town of Plymouth with respect to any personnel decisions that have been made in the last few weeks. I'll be able to provide more specific information to you in response to your concerns at the next meeting. Or I'd be happy to entertain a meeting with any individual in the town of Plymouth if you'd like to make an appointment and come in and speak to your concerns. If they don't deal with my office and my decisions or members of the council or legal decisions that are made by this governing body, we'll try to find you the right people to talk to. I will acknowledge also that I am now in receipt of several Freedom of Information requests, and in a new administration there has been some items that have been backlogged. That's all I can tell you. But we will respond to the letter of the law and provide the best information we possibly can. So I just wanted to make that generic response, and I look forward to getting more detail to you in my mayor's mayor's report in the January meeting. So I appreciate that, and I appreciate your comments and participation. It's critical to the function of this body. Any additional public comment on non-agenda items? I know I said that, but I was speaking, and in case I raised any concerns, I want to throw it open again. Seeing none, thanks very much. I'm now going to turn it over to town council comments. To be honest, I do not remember which side of the room I started on last time. So I'm going to go right to left this time. So, Mr. Engel, any comments?
The only comments I have to make, I did attend the Board of Finance meeting this past, about a week ago, but for the holidays. They did elect the chair, John Draper, and Vicki Carey was elected as vice chair. And there were some additional reports that they're looking for. And
So Eugene Croce was elected chair. The new member was Mr. Draper. Yeah.
Thank you.
Just want to make sure we get the record straight on that one. Mr. Croce would be quite upset, considering he was on the phone with us today.
Okay, they are looking for some historical data reports as well as some additional expenditure reports. BJ is going to take a look at trying to accommodate them with some reports down the road. The 24 audit, draft audit, has been basically submitted to the town by the audit firm, and it's under review at the moment. And last but not least, they're working on the 25 audit that's in process, and the calendar for the upcoming meetings will be completed and processed at their December. That's really it.
Thank you very much. Ron, anything?
Yeah, just real quick. Planning and zoning had a discussion of the Terryville Solar One, Verogi for the large-scale ground-mounted solar electric system. It seems like they're trying to go past the town of Plymouth and straight to the state of Connecticut to try to get the okay. Many residents from the neighborhood, the neighboring properties came and voiced their concerns, and planning and zoning agrees with them, couldn't agree with them more. And Margus was reaching out to the town attorney to see what options that the town has.
Thank you. Mr. Green.
I just want to say we were accumulating on Saturday, green,
Warren.
and I just want to say, I think the mayor has only been in office for 3 weeks.
Has it been that long?
We have to give him the opportunity to do his job. So if he wants to get new staff, he has every right to get new staff, and I have high confidence he's going to go about it the right way. So we just need to give him the opportunity to move the town forward. Thank you.
Sue?
Is that working okay? I had a chance to go to the planning and zoning.
Yeah, just a little bit closer.
How's that? Okay. I
That's
had a
better.
chance
Thank
to
you.
go to the planning and zoning meeting, which I found fascinating because I've never really sat through all of that. But I would suggest that anybody out there that wants to go to these meetings, please go. It was very interesting the way that the state was working and the town was working, and it was just, it was really, I learned a lot. So, I'm also working on the Veterans Project that I spoke about before. We have found out, we think, who is in charge of being liaison to the council, and I will be talking to her shortly, and I will bring more information next month. Hopefully we'll have it all worked out by then.
Thank you. DJ?
We had a couple meetings with different committees. Public Works is postponed until next Tuesday. So, Melanie, I'm going to talk to them a little bit because I want to say part of Todd Road is part of the bonding package. I just can't remember how much of that is in there. But we were down on Todd Road last night while everyone in this room was asleep at 12:30 doing a high-angle rescue of a guy down in the creek. And it is dark. You can't drive down there, and we had to back all the way from the bottom back to the top. So that road definitely does need to have something done to it to get down and back up. Park and Recs, they had the planters on the green back in October. It was a huge hit. They're already starting to plan for next year. They're teaming up with Lions Club. They're going to be doing the holiday lighting contest again. The sign-up sheets are up from now until the 15th. So if anyone's interested in that, hop on there, sign up, and then we'll have a list out for people to drive around and look at. And like Joe said, the tree lighting is on the green this weekend. The beautification committee is doing a great job and getting that up and going. And there'll be a lot of fun and different events that haven't been there in the past that will be there this year. So good family time, lots for kids to do, and lots going on.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you guys mentioning that tree lighting. My understanding is that there's been a lot of participation in that and a lot of volunteers. If anyone is interested in volunteering for that event, just contact the mayor's office. I know that they could always use additional folks helping with the parking and everything else. It's a great event. It's a little tight. We have to transport folks from the center school down to the green and so on. But that committee has worked extraordinarily hard, so that I'm sure it'll be a very successful event. So I've been told that I need to attend a dress rehearsal at 11 a.m. on Saturday. So I guess I got to be there. And I've also been told by multiple people to keep my remarks short. So in the spirit of that, I'm going to ask for a motion to adjourn this meeting. Motion, Mr. Green. Is there a second? Second, Sue Bolliard. Any discussion on adjournment? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Hearing none. That motion carries. Merry Christmas, everybody. We hope to see you at all the town affairs. Thank you to our technical team for broadcasting the meeting. Thank you at home for watching. Have a nice evening. Drive safe.
There's a lot more business on January, folks. Thank you very much for coming out tonight. Appreciate it.